Alrighty, Roo, and cuckoo to you. I'm hoping this will go. I'm doing the thing. It sort of looks like it's frozen. Looks real frozen. I went to the legal thing in the settings to see the game credits, and instead everybody... Maybe? Oh, there they are. Okay, it takes a second. It takes a while! So anyway, normally I just do this during the credits, and maybe the credits would have played, but that first little thing, I was only at 92% completion, which I went back and tried to finish it, and I don't know what I didn't do. And maybe they would have played after I did it, and that would have been like a whole cinematic thing, but whatever, it is what it is. I can make this own little video, its own thing. I don't know how the credits, how long they will be, or will not. Maybe it would have looked cooler having not just being staring at them dressed the way I've dressed them and whatever. But it is what it is. At any rate, my opinion on the game, this is when I do that's the part. Well, this is the part and this is the time in Sprockets when we dance. And I talk about you know, how I feel about it. I enjoyed the game overall from my perspective at this time and place, etc. I didn't play with other people. I have to worry about that. The bots I had were not... They weren't great, and they weren't terrible either. I just kind of focused on my thing. And yeah, I was kind of the only one doing stuff a lot of the time. I mean, there were times where I'm like, you're in the corner, what the fuck are you doing, bro? You're not in timeout, come on. It's okay. You can play with the other kids, they won't bite. And, you know, but a lot of times they just kind of did their own thing. They followed me, and... Like... I could see this game working like at higher level difficulty than I'm likely to play, where you all play characters and it's like a whole ass different game because you want to play it a different game because you want to do like stealth. You pick stealth characters, you do stealth stuff, and I get the feeling it still probably wouldn't work because the game isn't meant to be played that way, but you could still pick off people and kind of like have like a whole strike thing, and it would be really cool under the right conditions, even though most like, yeah, you'd be hitting something and they probably would all know at the same time, but it'd be too late because you like coordinated. And yeah, I could see that being a thing that would sort of be like, you know, like people do Nuzlocke runs on Pokemon and all sorts of shit to make the game harder or different or more fun. You could try to like Assassin's Creed this. I think it was Unity where you all, there's like an online mode. I don't know, I didn't play it. Anyway, but my perspective from right now, from here, is that I enjoyed it. I don't think I would have enjoyed this game had I purchased it day one. If I'd pre-ordered it, I think I'd have been pissed the fuck off, especially, I didn't really keep up super close with what happened in it, how it progressed. I just knew I was really looking forward to it and considering pre-ordering it, and then I just continued to hear more and more concerning shit about it just being like, it's going to be one of those filled with microtransactions. It's going to be, it's a games as a service thing, only it's not free. It's got a full price tag. And then they're going to microtransaction all the shit in, and it's just try to get you to buy all this crap just so you can play it. Like, it just looked like a good idea ruined by greed utterly. And, you know, like, I'm playing the game that I believe there's somebody in the company that was like, this is the game I intended and I wanted it to be. I don't control everything and I'm just a guy trying to say this because I'm pretty sure their servers are getting knocked out like in September or something. And I wanted to play the game anyway for a long time. I was hoping to be free on PS Plus, you know, PSN Plus or whatever. And it probably was if I had a better subscription or tier or whatever, but I got it for like $8 or something. Totally worth the $8. Didn't expect to get as much out of it or play it as much. But by getting it for $8 or whatever it was, somewhere around there, I got all the characters basically unlocked if I wanted to play them online. I have the vast majority of their suits and skins unlocked, so that just let me just, however I felt, I could just put them if I wanted to do a little role play with it, or I just wanted them to look a certain way, or I thought this is just cool looking, whatever. It let me do that, and that like really enhanced my enjoyment of the game. Plus, I didn't ever have to worry. Like I haven't really played the other mode where it's like play online with other people or whatever. That's not a thing that I have done. So I have no opinion on that because I think I might have played it once on accident a little bit, and I don't think I finished it. So it's probably just the game levels, but where you kind of grind and there's probably no story. But I think that the intro was really, really strong. The voice acting goes up and down. The writing, as far as dialogue, it's not great sometimes because the characters I don't feel are accurately represented. And I don't really know what they're going for because like I'm not as big a comic book person as I would like to be or probably appear to be from others. I have, I got a good stack of comic books. I have like graphic novels and manga and stacks of comic books. I do. I've read many. It's just I wouldn't consider, like, I'm not like worst review ever. I'm not a comic book guy. I do all sorts of different things all the time. I don't consider myself a comic book nerd. Not even like just in general, but much less in that comic book nerd guy. That's his name. He probably actually has a real name. I don't even know The Simpsons well enough to know it. But anyway, so I don't know how accurate a lot of this stuff is based on their things, their powers, what they use in the thing, how this or that. I know the MCU more because I've seen more of the movies. And TV shows and animated stuff and all that stuff. And non-MCU stuff too. I've pretty much seen what you can from Spider-Man. Like, I know pretty much all that. I think I've even watched part of some of the Japanese movie. I don't know. Anyway, but I felt like seeing it from this perspective is how it was supposed to be. Things were given away for free to anybody who wanted to get the game or got the game, and anybody who had the game just got it. That's a big spit in the face for everybody who sucked the dick of the microtransaction people. That sucks for them. I think somebody was just like, look, you guys, this failed, you didn't do it. The guy was saying earlier, that's assuming, it could be a guy, it could be a girl, it could be whatever. It doesn't matter. The idea is just that they probably was a person who said, this is what I wanted you guys to do, and you didn't do it in the first place because you wanted to make money, and now the game has failed, and I told you it would, and it's not a bad game, it's just not great if you do it this way, and you're trying to nickel and dime and get all this money, and gamers don't like that, and you don't care because all you care about money. And is your British ass happy now? Not that they're British. I don't think that the British are greedy people. It's a reference. But did you get what you want? No, because the game didn't sell as many copies. It was let out very quickly. All the stuff that was not great about it. And, again, maybe it didn't come out as good, like, it's sure there's so much upgrades, updates, patches, etc. that have gone into making it better. I saw plenty of glitches, not like game-breaking ones. Most of them didn't really bother me. If I found most of them entertaining. There were times when enemies or allies would just be there, standing. It's like, Cap, get out of the corner, dude. Did you see the Blair Witch? Sorry, spoilers for that movie. Although that's like out of context, that's not even gonna fucking matter. No one's gonna. I mean, if you get mad, I'd be like, dude, you have to see the movie to even anyway. And stuff like that. There's the thing where Thor was like, is this how you use a sofa or a chair? And it's like he's like grinding on it, or he's doing some freestyle walking. No one knows what that is. Shit, just like, it was just like, I really enjoyed it. There were glitches, there were problems, whatever. I don't think I would have enjoyed it or continued to play it if I'd gotten it day one and pre-ordered it. And I had to pay for everything and every little thing. I think the system for getting new outfits is trash. And I think they made that on purpose so that people would probably purchase that. I don't know that for sure. I don't know if you can purchase them straight up just with real money, or you could then. I think you could. I think you could do a bunch of stuff with real money, and they wanted you to. That was the thing. There's like, I think I saw a video about somebody talking about like, if you purchased everything in this game, just purchased everything they allow you to purchase with real money, it would be like so much money. And that was just enough to basically kill the game. It lost its, player base for online mode for a lot of stuff real fast. And that's understandable. People felt cheated. But I think I just want to side with that guy or girl or whoever in the company that wanted this to be the thing, and may or may not exist, but I'm pretty confident does, because I think that's why the game, why they were like, okay, well, we're about to shut down the servers in September or whatever and make them basically barely run. Let's just give it all away for free, because that is not something that they would want to do, because it makes it's just like, oh wow, you made everybody pay. Somebody had to sit there and lobby for that. Somebody had to fight for that, because it's both a great thing and not. You're pissing off everybody who spent the money and making it likely that other people would even try it. And basically more people got out and played the game. I think this game could have become a potential for a series if it had been done that person's way from the get-go, where everything is basically unlocked and you don't really have to pay for anything. Maybe you pay for the extra missions, a DLC or something, but not like a lot. Ideally they're free. Everything's unlockable. A better way to unlock things like suits and stuff. The whole in-game economy make more sense. I barely bought anything from any of the stores. Like, even with the in-game currency that you earn, I have all these, you smash the crates and you get the white whatever thing, and it's shards or whatever the fuck it is, resources, and I barely buy anything because you just pick up better stuff all the time. Why would you bother? It'd have to be something you really wanted, and they don't have a big inventory, and it doesn't make any sense. It's not about losing the thing. You have more than enough. It's just like, I guess I'll buy that and use it for like one mission or something before I replace it without thinking, because it's unimportant. But that said, I do think just gameplay wise, the game was fun. They do have some of the criticisms I heard were that the game, everybody moves around the same. It's like, I don't think so. I think people do move around different. I think Hulk should be better with its multiple jump. I think the first jump should just be massively better. And like, I like that you get the 3 or whatever, but maybe like just the first one is so, it's like double. It's like the second one at the first one, and then you get to like a little bit of an increase on the second jump, and then you get to your max distance, and like, instead of it being like, motherfucker just jump basically like Hawkeye jumps. Like, fuck all that. That's some bullshit. That is. I think a lot of the characters, like, you gotta standardize it. I just don't think that, like, it makes sense for Spider-Man to jump as well as, Kate Bishop on the first jump. I don't know if that's positive and that's exactly how it worked. I know that each has their own thing and whatever, but it's like, it doesn't matter how good of a gymnast you are. Spider-Man's fucking Spider-Man. If he's so inclined, he can just, like, jump, like, 50 feet in the air. Like, just like, bam. And he's just like, I basically jump like you guys. It's like, okay. And Hulk's fucking Hulk. He can jump, like, 2 miles or some shit. It's crazy. But, that part aside, like, they did have to make it so that everybody could kind of move around in a sort of way that made sense. Like, not everybody has some sort of swing ability, but a lot do. You got Black Widow, Hawkeye, Spider-Man, Kamala Khan. All of them have some sort of ability to do like a swing. I haven't played every character, but they all can, like, and the levels are made to sort of, like, give that. And that's one of the things I think in one of my earlier videos I was really concerned that it would be like, this doesn't happen. You know, like, what am I going to do running around as Spider-Man? It's going to be like it wasn't Far From Home or No Way Home. It was the first one, Homecoming, where, you know, he's like he's on a golf course and he's just like running. And it's like he wasn't even running as fast as he could. And it was just lame. And that was the whole point. But they did actually make it really well. I'm going to play him again just because. They did make it really good where if you're playing a character who has some sort of movement ability like that, it helps. And I think it was necessary because a lot, like, the characters do move differently. I have not played all the characters, but like Kate Bishop can teleport. That's awesome. That she can swing from things she can teleport on. Then there's a lot of characters that can fly. Many of them I haven't played. I had my gripe about how Hulk doesn't jump very... To quote Samurai Jack, he doesn't jump good to start. You know? It's not his first one. It's pretty lame. But it makes sense that you would give characters that use gadgets and maybe don't have full level superpowers or, you know, something that can't fly, something to keep up with. I don't know if in the game, if you sat there and had, you know, T'Challa and Captain America do a foot race with other characters, if they would just be faster. I hope they would. I feel like T'Challa was straight faster, but that might have just been like my mental thing. But I do think he was just running faster. The AI bots run as fast as they do and move. They, you know, you'll just like climb a tall tower and then suddenly they're there. Like, and that's just a game thing, you know. Often they won't just appear in front of you, but you'll just you'll get up the tower and they're already there, or they're there right after you turn around. And it's like, whatever, it's just a video game thing. They shouldn't have to do the work. You might need them there to help you. And they're AI bots, that's fine. That doesn't bother me. That's just video games. But I'm glad that they used the little, like, swing mechanic grapple thing for characters that would use gadgets or something. Because otherwise, it would really hurt their ability to play the game in the setting that they want. You know, you got people who fly and they can fly. Their flight isn't very fast. I wasn't super comfortable controlling it, but I probably could have got better at it. There's not that many that fly, but you get the point. Like, you have all these characters, like, if you're playing with your friends and you're like, oh, I really like this person. Like, I'm going to say Bucky because I don't know if he has anything that's going to give, like, if he's going to run as fast as Cap, which he should, if Cap runs faster, you know, and he doesn't have like a shoot ahead thing where he can just, you know, grapple and swing mechanic going for him. You know, like, if Hawkeye didn't have the grapple arrow, which he does have canon, it just works differently here. You know, like, you just be left behind if you're playing with people who can fly or move faster in some way or grapple, or like they swing and stuff, and you're just like, fuck. Because you're not an AI, and you can't just travel to where they are, and they can literally just be killing everything before you get to do anything. So, you know, I'm glad that they included that, and I'm glad that they made that work for everybody, because if your favorite character is, say, like I haven't even played Spider-Man that much. I don't know who's going to be my favorite character. So far, Kamala Khan seems to be the one that I enjoy playing the most. I just don't like that she doesn't have like and maybe I just haven't locked it or used that skill tree to do it. She doesn't have like a slam down maneuver, because I just spend, like, she seems like she's an aerial combat artist, and I just spend my time just swinging at the air because I'm trying to go down or something. At any rate, I think the game was really fun. The characters move differently, but same enough that it balances it, and I think that they did a good job there. I really think this whole game could have gone so much farther if it hadn't fucked up with the money aspect of it. If I hadn't been greedy, if I hadn't done that. And I didn't really keep up with it. I might be wrong about a lot of things I'm saying here. Because all I heard was, I was excited about this, and then I heard this bad stuff about it, and people knocked it down, and I just kind of I said, I'll try it when it's super cheap, maybe, if I can find a physical copy. And I couldn't, and didn't, and it didn't get cheap enough for me, and then I got it on the thing, and I'm not happy to have a digital copy of it. But it is what it is. If I delete it, I delete it. After I get my thing, I get my you know, it takes up a lot of space with all this extra stuff. That was free and is nice to have and has improved it. But that said, the characters play differently enough, and I like them. And right now, something just distracted me because I looked back up at the screen, and Lady Thor, fuck, her face, her character, at least from this angle, I don't know if you guys have seen, nobody's watching, but you know what I'm saying. Like what we do in the shadows, there's that one chick who, like, she's like a vampire elder, part of the council, but not on the council. She's sort of like does official stuff, and her voice is used in a lot of things. She's in Bob's Burgers, you know, as I think it's Louise. I'm not sure, pretty sure it's Louise, but she does a bunch of other stuff. She's very talented. I love her. She's hilarious. Her comedic timing is on par. Her straight man form an attempt at comedy is hilarious. But right now, Lady Thor looks like her, and that I'm like, it just sort of drew me out of what I was saying. Like, it just kind of looks like her, just the face, really. So, just anyway, but the game I enjoyed, and if it had been released this way, even if they had to wait to release the extra chapters, and they didn't charge much for it, and they fixed the whole getting costumes and suits and stuff, and things weren't so pay to have and all that, I think this could have been like a really good game, and I think it really would have been more well received. I can't say for the after game content and how that all works. I really get the feeling that's going to be underwhelming, and it's just going to be like, well, remember those times you did? Cool. Just keep doing those things, and they're basic and repetitive, but you level up your character and you get to actually make them way better than they are now, and that would be kind of cool. Because there's so much that I didn't really care too much about the leveling system. A lot of times I just sort of did it willy-nilly, like real talk. I was like, I'm using this, or I want to use this. Like in that last thing, I had 4 points for Black Panther, and I basically just used stuff that it's not necessarily things I'm going to use in the future, but it's like, I need this for this battle, and I'm just gonna, you know, like not just the items, but like I've used 4 points on things that some things I was using, but I'm like, I know I need this. So and it really made a huge difference. Especially once I realized I needed to take out the things that are shooting Wakanda, because that's obvious. But the game itself, fun. Graphics could be better. I don't really care about that. Music, decent. Writing, decent. Dialogue, not so great. Voice acting, hit or miss. I think a lot of that has to do with the dialogue. The writing itself, like for the things that happen and why, was pretty cool. I thought, especially again in that intro, that was a really strong intro. Whoever did that should be very proud of themselves, and more games should do that. It sucks, oh yeah, I'm having to basically play a tutorial and I don't get to do anything. But, and it's like, and it takes a minute, and I know a lot of people aren't going to like that, but it was so well written and so fun, and there were so many things. It was a great introduction to the game. Like, you got to do a little bit. It showed you some of the basics, you know, and then there's the harm room, which I really didn't use much, and I don't really like the name of, but fine, whatever. I will say one small gripe that's sort of stupid. There's so many suits, and so many of them look like the damn goddamn same. They're not that different, and maybe they're all comic book accurate, and sometimes they don't really change or whatever. It's like a color change or a palette change. It just seems like they wanted to. They're like, this character doesn't change much in the comics, so there's not much we can do, but we need them to have stuff. So, like, let's say this is a sleepover. Let's say she just came back from Target. Let's just, like, let's say this is the same thing, but she wears different hat. This is her like, this is summer, this is fall, this is, whatever, like, and that, it is what it is. That was annoying. It didn't really matter, but it was annoying to sit here and have to sit here and load and look through them all and all that, when it's like, they're almost not at all different, and I don't care. But some of them seem like they were legacy, some of them seem like they came from somewhere, some of them were really cool, and I just felt like it would break my immersion, not that it's like a super immersive game. Yeah, so I guess that's it. There's the problems with the economy of it. It could have actually been something pretty cool, I think, if they hadn't been greedy. And I think that it sucks because they had a decent formula and they fucked it up and ruined the experience in a lot of ways for a lot of people because money. Some corporate guys said this or that, and if other people had the same opportunity that I had by waiting however long to play this game, the fact that I paid $8 for it does enhance my feelings. It's like, oh, I definitely, yeah, I could have, you can't even go see a movie for that, man, I got way more hours out of that. I got, got to make Let's Plays. It was fun. I got to learn about different characters and stuff, and, I like Marvel. I'm a big fan of Marvel. Like, I got to get to feel the vibe for some characters I'm not so familiar with, and I get to, the feeling I'm going to get to know more about them. I got to see them look in cool outfits, or not cool outfits, or whatever. It was totally worth it, but I'm just saying that, like, I think if people had this experience, that were excited about it, and paid, they pre-ordered it, and got it day one, they wouldn't, the whole thing would have been completely different. I'm not saying that this would have been like Game of the Year, 10 out of 10, or that it would even really fall short, definitely have a chance at making a sequel. I don't think it would have changed the games industry or anything like that, but I think it might have encouraged things to be better, where the games as a service thing wouldn't be so greedy because they could see that it could work, that they could make their money by selling more copies and having an actual thriving community of people who want to play. Friends, like, this is a game that you're supposed to want to play with you're supposed to want to make a squad. You're not going to make a squad out of this game because you're going to, if they don't buy it day one, and even if they do, everyone's going to have to sit there and try to convince everybody to keep to what they said. The reality is, they buy it day one, you play it, you get into it, and you're like, I would feel like an asshole trying to convince my friends to get this game and get, it just doesn't seem right. The game is messed up. There's these things wrong with it, and I wouldn't do that. That's not what a good friend does. I might enjoy the game, but until it's like, I'll probably play it for a while and then pick it back up when it's cheaper, and then try to convince them to do the squad thing. So I'm really hoping that all those people who pre-ordered it and wanted to squad up, and their friends were like, nah fam, I'll see how it turns out, I ain't got money for it right now. Once it got cheap, once these things started giving away for free, they like, hey, squad up, and then that worked, and then they're having good times. I hope that's what happened. I hope that this whole thing with them giving away everything for free, that guy's just like, dude, just do it, trust me, you'll get flack, but it'll be good. See what changes. You're not going to be making a bunch of money, but see how the numbers change on the people who have it. We're not going to be selling a huge amount of copies anymore, especially that, but it'll be cheap. More people will be more likely to buy it, and see if it bolsters our numbers, to see if a community is worth sustaining. And if it works out, I really hope that they made their point, and that they get across that, and then they're like, the corporate fucking assholes, in their suits and cigars, are just like, begrudgingly accept the fact that maybe they should have listened in the first place, and might be willing to risk basically duplicating the game cheaply. Nothing too new, nothing too much, but making a sequel as cheap as possible, all the same characters, but adding a roster of some more. Somebody's got to write a new thing. They got to make whole new missions and stuff. They got to make a new story and all that. But